familiar faces, even though I cannot see your faces. Happy Saturday to all of you lovely humans. I am still in the process of trying to find my amp meter. So, we are going to say thoughts and prayers that I find this damn amp meter, because otherwise this is going to be an interesting repair. I really would like to have my amp meter for this. Also, we have an ill tiny technician in the background. He's not feeling so hot, so he's probably going to be doing other things while we're doing our lovely stream this evening. I'm going to continue searching for my amp meter. Everybody come hang out, enjoy yourselves, relax for a little while, and I'm going to try and find this damn amp meter. If not, if I don't find it, we will still do the repair, but it's going to be real interesting to try and test things the way I need to.
I didn't see it when you were moving something.
Yeah, neither did I, and that's kind of what I'm concerned about, is because I thought I put it under the desk. I could have swore I had it under there. I do not see it.
It wouldn't have been to this little thing you did, right?
No, it's that little cross-shaped
Yeah,
thing that I have.
talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Very much.
Yes. He's on the mend, slowly but surely. It's going around. Everybody's gotten sick. I've been dodging it like freaking bullets in Wanted right now. Oh, where in the hell did I put this damn thing?
$70,000. Yeah, but you haven't hung yet? I had it for a while. I might upgrade my office to the next one. So I might upgrade my office to the next office. Oh, perfect crack. Oh, rush hour, perfect. Nice new office.
Oh. I promise we will get started on the amp meter. Amp meter.
Controller box.
There we go. All right, we can
Controller box.
continue on. Excellent. Yes, controller box.
It was in the macaroons the whole time.
Those macaroons were delicious.
You ate them all?
Not all.
Oh, for the sake.
Yeah, I left you asleep. Okay, excellent. Amp meter has been recovered. All is good in the world. Do need to give it a quick clean. Where is my alcohol? There we go. All right, so as the title implies, I have only one repair this week, but it is a repair that I don't do very often. And
boards tiny technician can work on?
what?
Boards tiny technician?
Yeah, if you want to practice soldering, we can do that. I'm down for that. All right, so maybe we'll have the tiny technician come and practice some soldering as well. We'll make it a lesson as we go.
Great.
But, however, what we're going to be working on today is this Nintendo Switch. Now, if you have been on my channel for the entirety of its existence, you will know I hate working on Switches. And it is only because they are small, all the components are small, I have large hands, it makes things very difficult. But, I bought this Switch from Facebook Marketplace from the same guy who sold me that $100 PS5 that was bug infested and needed a bunch of repairs and stuff. But I bought this for a grand total of $20. Well, $25 because I paid him $5 to come drop it off to me. So this is a $25 Switch. Why would I buy a $25 Switch? You may be asking yourself. I also ask myself the same question. I bought it because supposedly it does not turn on. So I'm holding the power button down. And I am just getting nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, so I did have a look at it. Did it just try to turn on me, or am I just seeing shit? Okay, no, I'm just seeing shit.
You are getting to that age.
I am. That's very true. Trying to make sure this isn't a backlight issue. No, doesn't seem to be. Okay, anyway, $25 Switch. So we are going to be working on that today. And why am I working on a $25 Switch? Well, let's have a look. So, I'm not even gonna bother. Jesus! I'm not even gonna bother to plug it in. Number one, first of all, it does have the kickstand, which is very rare to come across on these Switches when I get them used and in need of repair like that. So the fact that it does have the kickstand makes me very happy, and it actually functions the way it's supposed to. It's excellent. I already did check for a game as well as an SD card. It did not have either, which is a little sad, but it happens. It's fine. So, the reason I'm not going to try to plug it in, I'll show you in just a moment here, is because I looked at the charging port, and that charging port is fucked up. So you can see, let me grab my tweezers real quick here. You can see how the gold pins on the side right here are kind of already coming off. These in the middle are okay, and these ones right here are just gone, man. They are so gone. And also that tongue, you can see how the tongue on the charging port is just all over the place. So that charging port has seen some shit. So I'm not going to plug it in because it'll just screw up anything that's not already screwed up on the Switch itself. So first things first, we're going to have to take this apart, and we are going to take a look at the board. We already know the charging board is bad, so we're going to do some testing around the board just to make sure M92, BQ, a few of the other things aren't shorted. And then we will go from there. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into this. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, so there are a number of screws. I have to remember which ones have to be taken out because I don't work on these very often.
The ones on the side.
Yeah, the ones on the I know a couple on the side have to come out for sure. Okay, so there's one on top right here. Kind of see. I need to get a smaller screw bit. That is not the same bit. Alright, I think I've got a couple small ones here. Alright, so we'll start by taking this top one off up here. Now I do not know if this has been worked on previously. I have no information on that. Okay, so we're going to put that one up here. I'm going to try and keep these in some kind of order because I am not good with remembering how these go back together. Is this not a Phillips? It is not a Phillips head. This is a tri-tip. This is not a Phillips head. It's the wrong goddamn bit. This is the correct bit.
I guess the three that were in a row were mine.
They're all in a row. It's just one I took. The rest of them are yours. I saved you one of each flavor. Okay, here we go. one.
Strawberry one.
I think the red one was my favorite. Although the chocolate caramel macchiato, whatever the hell one, was also pretty good. Okay. So now I've got the two main screws out. Let's bring some light down here. I've got the two main screws out. I believe there's one under the kickstand, or no, there's four in the back, that's right. And those are the Y-tip ones, so I do need to swap back over to the correct bit. There we go. All right. You don't belong here. Get out of there. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So I took this on as a project. Number one, because I don't like working on switches and I like making myself uncomfortable. So I grabbed that. But number two, to prove to not only myself, but to my viewers that this is not just a PS5 repair channel. I work on other things besides PS5s.
Cap.
It actually happens sometimes.
Everything other than a PS5 is worked on fails.
I mean, it does happen from time to time, but not this time.
You want to talk about that Xbox?
I still have it. It kind of works.
How many times has it been sent back?
3, but we don't talk about that. We listen and we don't judge. All right? All right.
Listen and we die. Yes.
Oh, that is the babiest of baby screws. Okay.
Sorry, did you say your second coffee of the day?
Hell yeah, get it in. Okay. And if I remember correctly, it's just this middle screw that has to come out. I think it is just this middle one right here on the Joy-Con rail. Also, those Joy-Con rails are loose. Very loose. But I think that's the only one that has to come out. I will try and retighten, see if that's what's causing my issue here. Trick, good to see you, my friend. You know, Kate, that's a very fair question. My success rate on things that are not PS5 is definitely not as great as the ones that are PS5. That is a fair thing to say. Okay, that's a side screw. That's a side screw. PS5s are absolutely my specialty. Number one, it's the most fun thing I can work on. And number two, I know the most about it. Okay, so now that I've got those out, I should be able to just lift this up. There we go, like that. And let's have a look and see what we got here, huh? Okay. Well, it's not in the worst condition I've seen. So, I mean, there's the little cables right here you can kind of see are pretty dusty. The fan itself looks pretty okay. I'm really checking for signs of liquid damage, because that's one thing I'm terribly concerned about. Okay, well, let's get this back plate off and continue on. I mean, back cover's a little dusty, not terrible. Switch is in for no power, my friend. No charge, no power. And for those of you that are just coming in, I will show you the reason, at least part of the reason, that it's got no charge, no power. That right there. that's part of it. So, yeah, I mean, you can see. First of all, if you're just coming in, welcome. Also, Multi-Tech, lovely to see you, my friend. You can see these pins right here are pretty fucked. They're pretty well fucked.
Hey, language.
And these over here as well have started to come loose. You can kind of tell just at the angle here. But these are all bad. Hey, Chris, good to see you, my friend.
Would you like a beverage?
And you can tell the tongue on it as well. Yeah, please.
What would you like?
Just grab me whatever's in there.
We got Pepsi.
No Pepsi.
Starburst.
Give me the Starburst one. And that tongue is definitely a little loosey-goosey in there. I do not know if this has been opened previously, so we're going to find that out together.
You get strawberry.
Strawberry it is.
That's a hard one.
Excellent. Sorry, taking a sip. Hydration.
Cantaloupe?
Oh, that's good stuff.
Cantaloupe?
That's really good. Huh?
Cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe.
There's cantaloupe in there.
Oh, yes there is.
Yeah, lunchable.
Okay, so I'll show you what I was talking about as far as the dust. So dust is pretty aggressive over here, but the rest of it looks in pretty good shape. And again, I can't tell if this has been opened before, just on the initial inspection.
Wait, go back.
Which one?
Tingy ting. Why don't there was like hairs? There is hairs.
Where are you seeing hairs at?
Go
Yeah,
back.
hopefully it's just the port.
Go back to the tingy ting. The little chip thing. There's hairs.
It's hairs? Oh, there is hairs.
See?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Great, I've got somebody's leftover pubes in here.
See?
Tremendous.
It's been opened before.
No, the screws actually don't look like they've been touched. There's no tool marks on them or anything like that, so that gives me some hope. But anyway, let's
This
get...
is good. The watermelon one.
I'm telling you, the strawberry one is actually quite nice. Okay, so let's get this taken further apart. Okay, so actually, no, let's do this in left to right order. There we go. Okay, so I am just going to keep removing screws.
Battery.
So I do have a couple of replacement parts available if
Needed.
it does not just the port. We are going to do some testing before we replace the port, of course. So I have a replacement battery available. I have M92 chips. And I have ports. So hopefully if it's any of those three things, we should be in the clear. But we will do some testing first, of course.
Hey, sir.
Huh.
Look what I received today.
What did you receive today? What's it? Oh, that's so fucking sweet. Y'all so goddamn precious. Okay. Is 65 a significant number for y'all, or just happened to be what you came up with?
What happened? Probably the second one.
Okay, tremendous. Alright, I missed a screw. Okay, now we should be good. Let's lift this up. Oh, no, there's one in the middle. I always forget the one in the middle. Every single time without fail. Okay, there we go. And that should be enough to get us up and out here. There we go. Oh, there's all kinds of pubes in here. How great is that?
I told you it's been open for, man.
Okay. No, actually, this is pretty clean.
So have some of those pubes in there.
Okay. So, let's have a look. Just move this off to the side for the time being. So let's get under the scope real fast. Check out the extent of our damage. Okay, so we'll do some testing. I'm just checking a couple of the things that I know can go wrong with these. Like, I know these can break, but it is on there solidly, so that's not an issue. want to check the pins on the charging port and see if those are damaged as well, or if it's just... Oh, maybe I didn't get so lucky. Oh, there you go. Stay put. Jesus. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good angle on this. Yeah, probably pet pubes if I had to guess. Okay, so that solder does not look factory unless it is, but I don't think so. It's weird to have it all blobbed up like that. I think this might have been replaced before. Okay, I mean, pins are on there good. Doesn't look like it damaged any of them.
Had a slight mess up on my way to the liquor stove.
Okay. Excellent. Alright, let's pull up a little bit. Give ourselves some room here. Let's check around M92. See if we have any shorts. Let's pull the battery before we do that. Make sure we're not dum-dum.
We are dum-dum.
There we go. Battery is pulled.
Sir.
Hmm.
Had a slight mess with my way to the liquor stove.
Yeah.
You know, my truck's on the roof. Some slight. Maybe pet peeves.
Like a good neighbor, someone come help. Alright. So we're gonna throw this baby into continuity mode. And we're gonna do some short hunting. Just to make sure. Alright, so we got M92 right here. Everyone knows that I hate M92. Let's just double check and... Alright, well, not a great start. Let me just make sure I'm on ground here. I am. Okay. Let's see. What about... Right there. Nope. Nope. Nope, nothing around there. Good there. Get around here. Okay, good there. Alright, CPU. CPU is good. Okay, so M92 looks okay. Looks like M92 might be just fine. However, I did, and this is probably just from the pins on the port itself, unless it's supposed to be short.
How do you mess up cooking that bad?
But let's just check this. Let's put this into resistance mode because I don't know if this is a fuse or a resistor. It looks like a fuse. That's dead short.
You want some bumpy pizza?
That is also dead short. So, well, no matter what, if it's a fuse or a resistor, it is short. That thing is dead short. Let's go back into continuity mode. Yeah, that thing is dead short. As is that cap.
So is it M92?
No, M92 looks okay. But this cap is short, this fuse or resistor is short. And let's just take a look around BQ real quick.
BQ?
BQ.
Mr. Coke?
Kinda. Alright. BQ.
Do we want to get the stream some background on Mr. Coke?
Maybe another time, yes. Mr. Coke will live in infamy. I'll be in the nursing home with fucking Alzheimer's. Okay. Alright, BQ also seems to be okay. Alright, so maybe we can get away with just doing the what's it called? The port.
There.
Hopefully. Oh yeah, you fucked up. Okay.
Where do you want the bumpy pizza?
What?
Bumpy pizza.
How you fuck up like that?
best to remove the charging port.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna take the port out just to make sure that's not what's causing that short on the what I think is a fuse and the capacitor right there, because I'm sure it probably is. I was just happy to see that there wasn't anything from M92. Maybe we can get away with just a port today. How great would that be? That would be pretty nice.
Yeah, my boy, you do not need that much salt.
Okay.
Yo! Put down the salt!
All right. So we're gonna take off the heatsink first.
Skibbity. I'm tired, but like, I get to work on something maybe, so. I played more than 30 minutes, we were like an hour. What? It's not what I heard. I heard I'm hard.
There we go. Gentle lift. Very gentle. There we go. All right. Yeah, I guess I can start removing some of these ribbon cables.
I got to seal the hole.
Alright, I do have to be super careful with these.
My Roblox is like magically deleted, man.
Just looking for my my spudging tool here, so y'all bear with me. Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Alright. It has been a long while since I've taken one of these babies apart. So y'all are gonna have to forgive my ignorance when it comes to this. There we go.
Oh, you died. Oh, I got hard.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Remove the game card reader out. Put that off to the side with the rest of it.
Yeah, advanced for rating level 2.
Alright, I really gotta find my actual spudger tool.
You made enough money off me. You said you made enough money off me. No, I already get views by you in real life. What do I get views by you in the game? I'm just kidding. I'll let you Gucci back me. I got something to eye.
Alright, there we go. Actual spudging tool has been found. So I'm going to switch over to the microscope and start removing some of these ribbon cables because that's easier for me that way. What happened? What did you do?
That's with my eye.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Very gently remove these ribbon cables.
Are you actually?
There we go.
Stop running.
Oh, I'm pulling up on the wrong part. How smart of me. There we go. Okay.
Monkey bitch ass start.
Carefully remove this ribbon cable as well. Well, that would suck because I would be out $25.
Skibbity toilet.
Alright, there we go. One side out. Come in from the other way. There we go. Alright, that ribbon cable's out.
Come to my office.
Alright. We're gonna move over this way. I'm gonna take off these, what I believe are the Bluetooth Wi-Fi connectors.
Perfect crack.
There we go. Off there. There's so many cables on this thing. The PS5, you get the premium screw content, right? But the Switches, man, you get that good cabling content, faux show. There we go. There we go. Alright, and we got these speaker power cables right here. We just gonna real gently wiggle those out. And I can probably pull them out by the cables. I've done it before. It's just I'm always careful with these because the wires are so tiny. They're just little baby wires.
The wires are so tiny.
Alright, where is...
Oh, Rachel just got caught this. Sorry, Rachel. My bad.
There we go. Alright, with that. And I think that's all the ribbon cables on this side. So we'll come over here. And
Perfect.
we've got
Perfect.
this baby right here.
You with a punching bag? Gosh, perfect. I just got a easy for the punching bag. I got a perfect crack on my first one. Perfect crack
Go.
again.
Excellent. Alright, there we go. And I'm just gonna pry that up there. And very gently, very carefully, very gingerly, I'm gonna pull this ribbon cable out like so. There we go. Okay. that is all ribbon cables and such. That makes me feel better. Now we will swap and start removing the rest of the components and then the motherboard. So we'll start with the fan.
Perfect crack already. Another perfect crack. Oh, stay when I got 8 and sprayed out of it. It's not allowed to multiply. It's not how good the chiropractor
There
is.
we go. Alright, fan is out. And now I gotta remove all these board screws.
It's gotta be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right.
Board screws I will keep separate from everything else.
A 4.2 out of 5. He's decent.
Okay, that should be the last board screw, I think. And we should be able to carefully remove this board. Excellent. All right, there we go. And here we are down to just the regular motherboard, which is very small.
Back extreme.
Okay, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. Hang on. I don't have a good board holder for this yet.
Bezos? Perfect.
Okay. Trying to think of how the easiest way to do this would be.
$33,000 paycheck from boss.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do our best. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are.
Hi, Bezos. Hi, babies. Wow.
So I think what I'm gonna do.
Punching bag extreme.
Okay. Yeah. There's nothing underneath that I need to worry about. So we're definitely coming underneath
Crack.
to heat. And I don't want to put a crap ton of heat into this board because they bend so easily. So we're going to go ahead and get some flux in here. We're going to put some leaded solder in there just to make this a little bit easier. I don't have low melt solder. For those of you that are going to suggest it, I do not possess it.
Broken foot. We can buy some insurance tokens. Shooting star.
Get some more solder in there.
Shooting star. Why? Which one do you have? I just have that one. I just got off of it. How many auras do you have?
There we go.
Same.
All right, and same thing over here.
Boss Grady has appeared.
All right, so that should be good enough to at least get the port off quickly, which is really all I can hope for at this point. Where's my counterweight? Counterweight.
I received $115,000 request. Oh.
All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna set this hot air at probably 425 degrees at like 50% airflow.
What are you doing with the other hand?
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna start heating up from the bottom. Making sure to move that heat around a lot. I do not want that heat fully centered on any particular thing at this particular moment, because it will cause bends in the board, and we do not want that. Alright, can we get it off? Not quite yet. Nope, still not yet. There we go. Okay. Alright, so the board is now off. We're going to clean up while we still got the warmth in the board. Alright, luckily it doesn't look like we have any torn pads, which is excellent.
They're all torn.
Why you wish so ill on me, son?
Because that's what I'm here for.
Fair enough.
If that wasn't me, what would I be here for?
Alright, and we're going to grab ourselves some wick, and we're going to clear out these ground holes and the pads, get everything all cleared up. clean off my iron real quick. There we go. I do want to be a little more careful around these parts. In fact, I'm going to trim up this wick. I don't want to have too much wick going around places just because it will cause other components to knock off, and that is the last thing I need on this right now because I don't have any donor boards.
That's messed up. It said, do you have a boy? This dude wanted me ready to go. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Yeah, get used to it. It's messed up, man. I think Alex is just short, guys.
Alright, let's clean up a little bit and see where we're at. Alright, so that one's going to need a little help. That's fine. Alright, so we'll come in here with an extra little bit of flux, and we'll put some more leaded on there, and that should help the rest of it to flow out of there. And before I put the new port on, we'll test and see if the shorts that we found are gone. Okay. Now hopefully that'll give us enough heat transfer to clear out that hole. Yeah, almost. Alright, that should be okay. Let's get back in here and clean up again. We can remove the counterweight off of this now. Give us a better look. Yeah, looks alright. It'll do. Alright, so let's take a look and see if our short is gone now that the port is off. And indeed, the short is gone. Yep. So the port was indeed what was causing the short, which is great. So let us grab ourselves a new port. Take a new port right out of this package here. Alright. And we're also going to tin this port up just a tiny bit, make things a little bit easier for us as we go. All right.
Yeah. What? What'd you say? I know you broke the sidewalk. Oh hell no.
All right, that should do.
I'm not doing. They try to put me in a cycle because of the way I straight jacket. Okay.
All right, and then we'll come in and get this board filled back in.
July and June, yes ma'am.
So fill in these ground holes.
Yo, the gay just texted me saying, or sent me a real saying, when you ask the teacher for help, he says, read again carefully so you won't start a school shooting cutely though.
There we go.
I texted the gay saying, how are the gays doing?
All right. So we got our ground holes filled in. Now we're just going to tin up our pads for the port. There we go. Beautiful. All right, and I'm just going to use the residual flux here on the board. All right. So same thing, I've got it at 420 degrees Celsius, airflow speed 50%. Moving that heat around nice and evenly. Trying to get some heat into that board before I center it on any kind of the port, so it doesn't bend on me immediately. Oh. So this one does not like the drop method, I see. All right, fair enough. All right, there we go. Just gonna hold that in place for a minute. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. All right, excellent. All right, good, good. So the port is in place. Let's clean up a little bit. Grab my toothbrush and spray it with some alcohol. The board is still quite warm, so I'm being real careful with it. I really need to get some of those Chemtech wipes. That would be extremely helpful in this situation. All right, we're gonna let the board cool down a little bit. I am gonna double check these pins real fast. And so we'll come in here with my dental pick. Just make sure pins aren't going anywhere. Pins seem to be good. Double check that one real quick. Sorry, there's a slight delay on my microscope camera, so it's hard for me to follow it completely. Well, good to go. Okay. And good. All right. So all the pins are soldered in place.
That's a stinky shit.
What?
You heard me.
You nasty motherfucker.
The stinkiest. It's a little dirty, man. Do you think it works?
We're gonna fucking find out on the next episode
of Treffy Ball Z. On Roy's Repairs and Resells.
That's right.
Part. Yes, you do have all the dragon rolls. She has the set of dragon rolls.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And the best she got for her wish was you, huh?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Rachel, when did you get so chunky?
Alright. And you can see the solder is perfect on those legs.
Don't feed Rachel too much.
Looks beautiful.
She looks fatter than usual. Rachel, are you pregnant?
Alright. So let's just take a look at the back real quick. Make sure solder went through completely. It did indeed. We're going to clean that up as well.
Rachel, give me hugs.
All right, there we go. And while I'm getting this cleaned up, if you haven't already, please be sure to throw a thumbs up on the YouTube video. Throw a subscription my way if you have not already. Follow me on Twitch. We're trying to build out the community over there. Get this thing popping.
YouTube channel should be up and booming shortly with short content.
That's right.
Gotta tell them about that upcoming stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it's not pretty. Hang on, let me grab my pick again.
More tiny technicians should be coming around.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be.
Why is that thing so dirty?
Oh, because it fell on the carpet when it was hot. All right, whatever. It's fine. I'm not gonna be nitpicky. The OCD in me wants to be nitpicky. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Let's get it back into the chassis. This is by far the worst part. I hate this part.
Yo, put it with swiper, no swiping, put it back. Swiper, no swiping, put it back, bro. You stole your whole family dinner, bro. You are not a Mario, brother. Put it back. Oh, the keys are getting rid of me. LeBron. I sent Isaac the photo of LeBron.
Alright.
Okay.
Trying not to squish this screen ribbon cable. I know those things can be a nightmare. Okay. I think we should be square.
LeBron.
Yeah. We're square. Excellent. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start putting this thing together.
Michael is King LeBron. You're getting 1, 2, 4. Okay, I'm kidding. You're getting 1.
Go. Alright.
2, 4, 10, 6. Cut it off. Put your plated.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting the screws back in here so we can get this board held back in place. That would be very helpful.
No, I wanted to be a girl. Are you gay? No, it's just LeBron.
I am trying to keep my memory in place on how to put these screws back, so I'm sure somebody in the comments will yell at me saying, "Hey, you forgot a screw." And that's fine. I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I spent $25 goddamn dollars on this. I'm not complaining.
That's messed up. No, it's LeBron sexual.
Okay, there we go.
It's not A, it's LeBron sexual.
Alright, so now I'm going to have to come back in with the microscope for these ribbon cables because they are always a nightmare.
Slow down.
Alright.
Oh, she's not done.
Go. I hate these ribbon cables so much. Everything is so small and my hands are so large.
What am I picking?
Okay, there we go. Bless.
Thank you. Ugh. One A 8 H.
Alright, go.
Did I get them all right? Oh yeah. I farted. This is. Two years below, 3 years above. Oh no, actually, yeah, no, 1 year below, 2 years.
Go.
3 years above. Wait, so 16, 14 isn't bad? So a junior and a freshman isn't bad. You have 1 more year till that is not legal.
I hate these ribbon cables so much. Okay, let's turn this, maybe make it a little easier here. No screws, no forgetting the screws.
Yes. Birthday cake. Walnuts. Wait, say the answers again? Cherries.
Okay, there we go.
Vanilla wafers. Vanilla wafer. With cream.
Let's do this.
Chocolate. Okay, buddy, what the fuck? My calculator is correct, master. What? I'm confused. What did you say?
Okay, this, I hate these screen ribbon cables so much. I don't feel like it's in properly, but it very well could be.
Do you need the tiny connection with the smaller fingers?
No, it's just a feeling thing.
What's almost there?
Huh?
Why there's a tear in there?
Nah, it just scraped off some of the coating. It's fine. Okay. This cable specifically is an absolute nightmare. So we're going to pull it out.
All this work just for the silly ribbon cable and not go back in.
Now, see, that's sitting oblong. It's not sitting right.
What the hell? What did Draven just say? What did Draven just say? LeBron.
I'm glad to hear you're okay, Ashley.
I'm texting the mine, the gay one.
All right, we'll try that for now. If it doesn't come on the screen, we'll know that it's probably something to do with that.
How much do I have? Okay, we're choosing your birth month. Okay, we're choosing your birth month. Can you send me a TikTok? I know, you don't have to ask for them. Before Scotty does it, no, I feel heavy. Do it in my bed every Sunday.
Okay. And might as well put the fan in there. All right. There we go. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just do the whole reassembly. Well, most of it anyway. We won't put the case back on or anything, but I just want to see if we get a charging icon. Fan is back in. Uh-oh. Random screw fell in here. Where'd you come from? That's not for you.
What? No.
Alright, so we're getting the game card reader reinstalled here. I apologize I'm not talking as much. Like I said, I am not familiar with these as I am with PS5, so I am doing my best to remember everything.
There's some charms to it.
Okay. There we go. All right. Let's reconnect the battery here. Alright, before I put the heatsink back on, I'm just going to see if I get a charging icon on the screen. Because if I'm going to put the heatsink back on, I want to put new thermal paste on it because this is fairly dry. So, let's move this over. Alright, where's that amp meter I look so hard for? There we go.
Upper butt.
Well, hopefully that wasn't important. Okay, so I'm going to come into this mess of wire over here. Alright, so let's turn this off.
Hey, look, I see you.
So we got 5 volts, 40 amps going in, but I do not see a charge icon on the screen. I figured I would probably, unless the battery's already full, I suppose, but then even so, I feel like it would turn on. Swap around.
It would be better if you had Joy-Cons. You could try it here.
Okay, so it's definitely charging. I got 5 volts and 0.4 amps going in, so It's definitely got the fast charger, but I do not see that charging icon on there, and that concerns me.
Why is it like cracked in the bottom? Or am I tripping?
No, it's a stain.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so is the battery already full, or do I have that screen issue I was concerned about?
Chocolate. Summer. Funny. Pants.
I am pushing the power button. Oh, there we go.
Charging icon?
No, it tried to turn on for a second.
Juice. One more time. One more time. Sports. Football. Night.
Okay, there we go.
Quiet. I see it. It's turning on.
Yep, I think it actually is on.
Try turning the volume up.
I am. All right.
Favorite food at Buddy.
So let's shut it down again.
Indubitably. Because I can already have the mic. And I can make more money.
Okay, so yep. So the backlight comes on, but I get no Nintendo logo
Think it's the ribbon cable?
and no screen action. So I'm guessing it probably is that screen ribbon cable. I'm assuming it's not seated properly, unless the screen itself is broken. But
Are you getting any feedback at all from it?
no. Man, no touch screen activity, no charge icon. The backlight is for sure on. Yeah, I can see the backlight is on, but the screen itself is just not popping up. Okay, well, we're getting somewhere, because we couldn't even get this far before, so we're going to shut her down.
So now we try to get that ribbon cable in.
There we go. So now it's all the way shut down. And we're going to go back and try and fix the ribbon cable for the screen, which is annoying. Okay. I am willing to bet it is that screen ribbon cable, which means I have to take this game card reader off again.
Not getting dragged around.
That should be the only thing I have to take off.
I might not know how to do no trick. Burn out a baby bugs. The ball's gonna break.
Okay. Game card reader is off. Let's get back under the microscope and see if we can get this thing seated properly, huh? it just doesn't look like it's seated properly.
Skibbity.
It looks like it should be pushed in more.
What you doing? Why the fuck you looking at my reels?
What was that? I didn't. What? She hates me, guys. I need sleep, baby.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, my tweezers. Oh man, this cable.
Oh, he's so cute. It's a tiny fat frog. It's a meatball. He's so cute. R.I.P. meatball.
I hate working on switches.
Do you need some help over there?
No, trust me, man. If I'm not gonna put you in this position. It's not even a big hands issue this time. It's just this cable is ridiculous.
Really small. Where is said cable? Oh, screw you. That's how you know it's bad, even if I say, oh, screw you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pull it back more.
Yeah, except it can't. That's the goddamn problem.
Oh, trust me, it can. It might not want to, but it can. Also, if you got Drake's snake in your way. Talk about the.
Yeah.
What? We'll just see all where Get in your slot, please. Okay. Progress. You gotta do both sides at the same time.
Yeah,
Otherwise
again,
it won't work.
that presents a problem. So, like, I can get it as far as pushing in two sides at the same time.
Code. Ah!
This cable is a fucking nightmare.
It's literally the
And
right
I
side.
feel like it's
the right side.
like I know I'm doing something wrong because I don't work on these enough to know what I'm doing wrong.
All the dead skin on the fingernail. Oh, it's hey sir.
Huh?
Why it look like it's broken
Where?
on the bottom?
This?
No. In the corner. Is it just me or is it like it's like not connected to anything on the bottom? Bottom left. Or am I tripping?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Dad. It doesn't look like it's connected to anything.
What?
Dad.
Oh no, it is. It's connected underneath. Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
it-
folded under.
It don't look like it.
No, it is. Oh my God, this cable.
You're even you're chipping away at the side pieces.
Yeah, I know.
Flatten it, push it. This thing just sucks.
Now you see why I hate working on switches.
And it's so flimsy. It's all crooked.
I know.
Also, is that all your dead skin?
No, it's fucking thermal paste.
No.
Oh my God, this thing is a nightmare.
Good in the front.
This has become a ribbon cable repair more than a goddamn port repair.
Oh no, I'm crashing out for real.
Oh shit, maybe. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Alright, well, let's pop it out. Yep.
What?
Yeah. The damn connectors are bent. That's why it's not going in properly. Okay. Well, that's gonna be fun.
Fun.
All right. Well. I need something extraordinarily thin, and the thinnest thing I have is my X-Acto knife, and that just is not doing the job here. Well, this might be a situation where I have to order a new connector, because I don't think I can bend these back up. Well, I don't know how that got so fucked up, but here we are. Yeah, I just don't have anything. This is by far the thinnest thing I have, and it is just not doing the job. So I'm gonna have to order a new 57 pin connector. Yay! Alright, well. Wait, did I get one up? I got one. Alright, maybe not. Maybe we can make something happen here. Okay, hold on, hold on.
Yeah. Hi. Oh, gosh.
Okay. I have to try and come down a little bit here and get a little bit of a better angle. I'm going to give this a little bit more time to try and see if I can get it going, but I think I might just be better off buying a new connector, which sucks. But I definitely want to give it a shot.
Go bed.
Yeah, no, this is not going to do. I'm going to have to buy a new connector. Yeah. Alright, well, that's shitty, and I fucking hate working on switches. And that is why. They're a pain in my ass. I hate them. Alright, well, the reason I do these things is because it makes me uncomfortable, it gets me out of the comfort zone of the PS5, and that's what this is all about. So, I don't have a 57-pin connector right now, so I have to order one. So I'm going to order one, and then I will follow up once I have one. I'll save this Switch for next week, and we'll get a new 57-pin connector, and we'll try and get it working. Who knows? Like I said, I only paid $25 for the thing. I'm not terribly concerned if it doesn't work. I'll keep it for donor parts, if anything. It is far too late to be training you tonight, good sir.
What time is it? Oh, 11:40.
Yeah, it's late. So,
We got stuff to do tomorrow.
yeah, we got things to do in the morning. So,
Not the way I wanted to end the stream, but here we are. That doesn't always work out the way we want it. So we'll be back next week. Hopefully I'll have more interesting things to work through. I have a couple of customers who have brought me some interesting things through the phone, but haven't actually dropped off the consoles yet. So we'll see how that goes. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a very busy day for me tomorrow, so pray for you, boy. Please. If you haven't already, click the thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe over on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. We're going to do amazing things this year. 2025 is the year of prosperity here at Roy's Repair and Resale. It's going to be great. Love y'all.